Miss Hawley, I've read your papers. I have not read yours because you didn't send any. So I don't have your answer to her complaint, Mr. Crawford. I assume I'll hear from you when I ask you an appropriate question. Ms. Hawley, you say in your complaint that you and Mr. Crawford lived together for a period of time. Is that right?
Correct.
And that relationship produced 3 children.
Yes, it did.
Never married.
Never married.
That early on in the relationship, you gave him some money to take care of some old warrants. So why don't you tell me when you made this loan for the warrants, how much it was for?
Well, in the beginning, when I met Raymond, we had children. I had a good job. We had our first child. I agreed to stay home with the baby at his insistence and his parents' insistence. I thought it was a good idea, and I also just couldn't see how I could leave my child with him and work shift work.
Well, what was he doing?
He was working too. When we were both still young, he liked to go out. And
Why didn't you get married? I mean, that's not particularly relevant, but having 3 children together and being together for a long time, it would seem to me you might want to make it legal.
I suppose we did consider that, and he did buy me a ring, and it was talked about, but I think somewhere inside I knew that probably wasn't the right man for me.
So, you lent him this money.
I lent him the money.
Well, what did he tell you about needing money for these warrants, and what were these warrants for?
Well, first he said that he needed the money. His car was constantly breaking down. He needed the money to fix it. He had an Audi 5000, and it was always needing this or needing that. And
I don't recall ever having a warrant at all. I don't know what warrant we're talking about.
Well, that's what we're going to find out about.
Well, I have receipts where he paid them at San Jose Police Department.
Could you show them to him, please?
Oh.
They may be tickets or speeding tickets, something like that. I don't believe they're warrants.
You see them?
Yes,
Good.
correct.
Can I see them, please? What was the total amount of money that you gave him?
The total amount of what I can prove I gave him was $48.20, and Your Honor, I'd like to amend the complaint to $49.20.
Well, so far I don't even have anything close to that here. One is for $255, and one is for $347.
Here's more. These are records of agreements and transactions that I made him sign because I think at the time I loaned him the money, I still had a feeling I needed to protect myself. I didn't feel entirely comfortable with.
Do you see those notes, sir?
Yes.
Those have your signature on them?
I don't recall signing them.
I don't care whether you recall signing them. I asked if there was your signature on
There's
them.
a signature on them, but that does not look like my signature.
Doesn't?
It may look like my signature, but I don't recall signing them, no.
Well, those are 2 different things. Does it look like your signature and don't you recall signing them, or it doesn't look like your signature and you don't recall signing
It
them?
looks a little bit like my signature, and I don't recall signing them.
Write his name 10 times. Right over there. Fast. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. May I have it, please? It's enough. Now give me the documents. I always knew I'd have use for this. I've been wearing it for a long time, figuring one day I'm going to have to use it. Looks like the same thing to me, sir. Now, something happened in your relationship and you broke up because you never called in these chits until something happened. Is that right?
Right.
So what happened?
Well, I did ask him when we did split up. I believe it was the first time. The kids and I were living in a shelter. Raymond had moved to Monterey to pursue his career, and I needed the money. I had 2 babies. One was.
Well, what were you doing living in a shelter?
We had no place to go after I was home with babies. I didn't have a job.
Well, what caused you to
He
separate?
left.
And why did you leave your house?
It was a rental. I couldn't pay the rent
You
on
mean
my
he
own.
left? Did he leave?
I asked him to leave. I made up my mind that I was going to do whatever it took to keep myself and my children safe.
Okay, so you went to a shelter.
Yes, we did.